Das stimmt schon mal. Vielleicht resette ich mit dem Kompass aber auch die... mit dem Knopf den Kompass, dass er mich, wenn ich drauf drücke, automatisch zum ersten Panel bringt. Und ihr habt ja auch gesehen, gerade eben blieb die Platte auch an ihrer Position. So, das nächste müssten Berge sein. Das würde auch funktionieren. Das nächste sind die Sterne. Ja. Also, auch wenn ich mich jetzt echt doof angestellt habe, aber ich finde es total spannend. Ich finde es richtig cool gemacht. Es ist nicht ganz doof. Jetzt müsste es noch eins sein. Ah, nee. Eins nach oben. Genau. Und jetzt der letzte. Tada! Das ist wahrscheinlich nicht so gut, was wir da jetzt rausgelassen haben.
The mechanism doesn't work anymore.
Die unheilsschwangere Musik ist gerade auch nicht für uns. Ich bin ja nie drauf gekommen, dass das ein Knopf ist bei dem Kompass. Ich bin so gespannt. Tada. Wie lässig der da auch einfach rein schlappt. Ja, mal gucken so. Ich bin der Lone und mir kann keiner was. Ha. Entschuldigung. Oh je.
Armitage! Lone! Lone, get out of here!
You did it, Lone. All has gone according to plan.
Let him go, right now! Ah!
Wer ist das eigentlich?
Do you take me for a fool?
Release me now!
All in due time. All in due course.
Ist das cool?
You'll pay for this!
You have merely been assisting me so far. I knew you would do it. And with a power like yours, nothing is impossible.
What do you hope to accomplish by all this? Don't you know the magnitude of the powers you're playing with? You're insane. A madman!
You dare to call the pursuit of power madness?
Der sieht aus wie einer aus
My
Innsmouth,
master
ja.
has spent numerous lifetimes to attain it. But a stupid human eliminated him, wasting centuries of knowledge. But now, all that shall
Soll
be
alles ungeschehen
undone.
gemacht werden. Das ist unfair.
Oh, finally, you are here.
What are you up to? Deliver your prisoner up onto us. Your work here is done.
Who are you?
Die Lache.
Did you really think I believed your promises? The power incarnated in that mere mortal will bring my master back to life. Together, we will dominate your swarms of insignificant insects. Even Father Dagon will bow to
okay.
our will.
Dagon ist dieser Meergott. Und jetzt? Und jetzt? Und jetzt? Was passiert?
Fools! The The wisdom of my master is profound and powerful. You cannot pass.
Sind das etwa die Guten?
What are you doing? Halt!
Leave him alone! Damn!
Stop, you lunatic! What do you think you're doing? This is not a power you can hope to control!
Let's find out. Katla, Besha, Katla, La.
Oh!
Oh.
Please just...
Chat alone. Ja.
Iklaktan.
Stop, you lunatic!
Katla, Besha, Katla, La. Iklaktan.
What's happening to him?
Einfach auch schöne Zeichnung. Und jetzt? Oh oh. Jetzt wird irgendwas in uns aufgeweckt. Tentakeln, schön.
He lost his senses, his mind hazy. The pain was unbearable, but now he was finally better. Strangely better, like a hungry wolf now satiated. He could
Ein
rest.
hungriger Wolf jetzt zufriedengestellt. Jetzt konnte er
Lone,
Ruhe
wake
finden.
up.
Aber was ist jetzt
Are
passiert
you
genau?
back with us?
Yeah. Is Armitage?
He's doing okay.
He's just unconscious.
Also wahrscheinlich waren wir das.
We might have some ideas about that, but just focus on pulling yourself together for now. My men will transport you and Armitage to a safe place.
It's all so muddled in my head.
Wer ist denn jetzt der Linke
Reduce those
gewesen?
men to that state of carnage? Sure, they were a threat to us, but that gruesome scene will scar my mind forever. Luckily, we managed to save Armitage. 3 days had passed, and I felt much better. We have to meet up at Miskatonic University and take stock of the situation, given all that's happened. Ephraim, Upton, that horrible monster. Once again, the meaning of all this escapes me.
I awoke splayed out and chained down.
Ausgestreckt und
It's absurd to even
angekettet.
suggest that this was all planned from the start.
Dass das alles von
Absurd as
vornherein
you'd think,
geplant war.
the
Nicht
dissidents
so
are behind all
absurd.
this.
Hold on. Who are they?
Jetzt geht's rum, wer sind die?
For that matter, who are you?
I'd
Genau.
also like to know who that madman in the catacombs was. The spell he unleashed was beyond any known power.
Yep.
I can answer the latter with ease. He was a servant of the ancient and most powerful sorcerer, Ephraim Waite. He wanted to bring his master back to life using loan, or rather,
Okay.
the creature bound to loan by symbiosis, as a catalyst.
Is that even possible? I mean, bringing the dead back to life?
Under normal circumstances, no. But with Ephraim's knowledge, and given Loan's condition, we believe it is at least plausible. We may never know for sure.
You knew all this and still sent us straight into the lion's den?
That's right. And I apologize for that. But there was something we needed to verify. We would never have allowed anything to happen to you.
Yeah, right. I don't trust you an inch.
Gentlemen, please calm down. Their methods may be questionable, but I do not doubt their commitment to the cause.
What cause?
What are you talking about?
Armitage, you can't mean that.
All in due time. Time that we cannot afford to spare right now. Lone, you are in danger. They know of your mutation, of your condition unique in all of history. They will hunt you down.
I was there all alone in the caves under Innsmouth. Yet, it seems my situation is public knowledge. Unless... Elliot.
Suffice it to say that we knew of you well before Armitage contacted us. We had thought to simply eliminate you, but our superiors decided otherwise.
Thanks a bunch for letting me live.
Besides, after having now just seen you in
Haufen Story.
action, that may have been a more troublesome operation than we expected.
Stop right there. We don't kill people. We are the good guys.
Armitage, I must disagree with you on that. We do what is necessary to preserve the human race. Individual lives, or even dozens, have no meaning to us. The important thing is the grand plan. And this is the very reason why you were never considered for recruitment. We have no use for your morals. We're dealing with forces that act under different motivations, as you may have already noticed.
Ignoring all moral standards makes us no better than them.
I agree.
Enough of all this. Armitage, tell them everything.
Also viel Story. Und der White, der kam in Innsmouth
If
vor.
anyone had heard the story disclosed in that tiny room by that small group of people, they would have thought them insane. It turned out that the group to which Aquila belonged. Yeah, you heard right. Aquila.
War das nicht Adler?
Pretty curious, don't you think? Anyway, he called his organization the Keepers of the Key. Cool sounding name, very evocative, but without any real meaning, or at least so they thought at that time. Blanco was fascinated. Akeley seemed to understand a lot more than the rest of them, but there was so much that the man kept to himself. They said they could help Lone. Apparently, a recent expedition to Antarctica had made a sensational
Jetzt
discovery.
schließt sich der Kreis.
Professor Lake had discovered unnatural tunnels in a place where man has set foot
Das
only
ist
in
direkt die
relatively
Story
recent times.
von Mountains of Madness.
The Keepers, based on their secular wisdom, were convinced that if a solution could be found, they would find it there. As usual, Aquila did not go into detail, and there was no way to learn more from him than he deemed necessary. At this point, it was a leap of faith, but what other choice did they have? Lone could tell himself that this was mere madness, but he had seen this madness in action. He could no longer deny the evidence. The only help could come from this strange cult. He couldn't continue to pretend nothing was wrong. He was too dangerous. He didn't really trust these people, but they certainly seemed less interested than the dissidents in rubbing him out. For the moment, that was enough for him. And besides, he had his new friends by his side, and believed they had no intention of leaving it. That calmed him to some extent. Their departure was scheduled for the following week. They all made preparations in a hurry. They had no idea what it would be like to face such extreme temperatures. They bought some basic equipment and warm clothing. Everything else was to be provided by the university. The greatest adventure of their lives seemed already underway, but this was only the beginning.
Good morning, Lone.
Wahnsinn, also wie
And
lange
to
geht
you,
das Spiel
William.
noch?
And you, Henry. Please, let me introduce you around.
Good morning to all.
Hiya.
Hello.
Allow me to introduce Professor Lake to you all. He is the head of the expedition. He's just back from Antarctica to attend to some business here.
Good morning, gentlemen. It's a pleasure to have all of you on board. Akeley, good to see you again.
The sentiment is mutual, Lake.
The discovery we made is unprecedented in all of human history. I expect that your great depth of knowledge can help us learn even more.
Certainly. It'll be our pleasure to help you any way we can.
What we have uncovered is incredible. I return to retrieve the invention that will help write us into the pages of history. The drill invented by Mr. Poverty. The trip back here took what seemed like forever. But this time we will fly back. The journey will be much quicker, even if we must take landings at airports here and there. Correct, Mr. Baron?
That's right, Professor Lake. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Louis Baron, and I will be your pilot for this journey. And if needed, I am handy in a fight.
Pump the brakes on your enthusiasm, Louis. There will be no call for fighting. Excuse him. He's an army veteran, and an excellent pilot. But let's get aboard. We have plenty of time to get everyone on the same page.
Sieht aus wie eine Tante Ju. Dürfte aber ein amerikanisches Fabrikat sein oder sogar ein ausgedachtes Flugzeug.
They left Arkham on October 2nd. They made a stopover in Honduras, and from there, the crossing of the Pacific began. They replenished their food and fuel supplies in Tasmania. The Antarctic Ocean was waiting for them, and a chill ran down their spines when they spotted the high slopes that crowned the McMurdo Sound.
Ich finde es wahnsinnig cool gemacht, es tut mir leid. Sound heißt hier übrigens Meerenge und nicht Geräusch.
All in all, it was quite the pleasant flight. Allow me to introduce you to my student and dear friend Danforth.
A pleasure to meet you. Consider me completely at your disposal.
Nice to meet you, Danforth. Let me introduce you to my friends, William Blanco and Henry Accolay.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Danforth.
We have met before.
Welcome, Professor. Forgive me if I seem a tad brusque. There's something I need to discuss with the Professor.
Speak then, Danforth. You know how I hate subterfuge.
As you wish. Do you remember the two men who fell sick just before he left the site? After the discovery of the entrance into the mountainside?
Yes, of course I remember them.
They're dead.
Dead?
Yes, Professor. The worst thing is that we can't figure out their exact cause of death, which is why the bodies have not yet been sent home. We fear a possible contagion getting out.
Well, that's a very unpleasant situation to say the least. Gentlemen, feel free to wander around the camp at will. And to get to know our colleagues better, I have to deal with this matter. I'll see you all later.
Of course, Professor. We'll try not to get in your way any further while you're dealing with this unfortunate situation.
Actually, on second thought, would you mind accompanying me? I would love to hear your opinion on this whole affair. Permit me to introduce you to Dyer, Professor of Geology at Miskatonic.
Good morning, gentlemen.
What, Professor? You don't introduce me?
Of course. Impatient as always, I see, my friend. My distinguished colleague Atwood of the Physics Department.
Honored to meet you, gentlemen.
The honor belongs to us.
Forgive me, but a problem has arisen. And not an insignificant one, from what I've been told.
Yes, a great tragedy.
That it has occurred now is most unfortunate. It has spoiled the euphoria of such a landmark moment in human history.
Professor Lake filled us in during the flight. Stupendous, but also terribly frightening.
Absolutely, my friend. As much as any other discovery that has changed the destiny of mankind. Although nothing else compares on this kind of level.
Gentlemen, you will see with your own eyes soon enough. For now, there are those poor guys to deal with.
No objection in any respect. I hope we can get to the bottom of all this. I wouldn't want to die from some disease before my adventure here concludes.
Very black and inappropriate humor. Dyer, you will never change. See you later. I'll be in touch.
We're headed to the mess hall for a hot drink.
Please feel free to join us if you like.
Follow me.
After you.
Good morning, Professor. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning, Doctor.
This should be the infirmary. Or rather, the morgue, it seems.
Lone?
Good one.
I like people with a sense of humor. A rare thing to find in such remote wastelands as these. It's nice just to see some new faces, too. Did you just now arrive?
That's right. Name's Lone Carter, private investigator. We're here at the express request of the Professor.
There are matters here that require our services.
You've come at a terrible time for us.
It seems that way.
Bring us up to speed, Doctor.
These two gentlemen passed without any known cause.
Also
I can't
unbekannte
imagine any
Todesursache.
valid reason for them to have died.
Der Doktor weiß nicht, warum sie
As
gestorben
far as I
sind.
know, we won't be departing immediately.
It takes at least a day for such preparations to be made.
If Lake doesn't mind, you're more than welcome. But I don't imagine you have any medical expertise.
They don't. But I could probably help you.
Henry? Is that really you?
Die kennen sich.
Okay.
Let's get to work.
But are you all right?
Better than you could ever expect. Gentlemen, I'll be with you as soon as I'm done here.
Doctor, could you join me briefly in my tent to fill in some final details so we can get the bodies back to their families?
Of course. After you.
We take our leave, gentlemen. Let us know if you find anything further.
You too, gentlemen. Leave me alone for a while. I must focus. And if they've not found any apparent cause of death, I'm sure I can figure out why not.
Be that as it may, Henry. This is not what we're here for. Don't spend too much time on this.
See you later, Henry.
Okay, also. Wow, das ist echt viel Story. Ich weiß auch nicht, ist das spannender als Let's Play? Ich meine, ich kann nicht alles, vor allem wenn die so viel reden, kann ich unmöglich alles zusammenfassen und übersetzen. Ich finde es aber geil, weil du dich einfach mal drauf einlassen musst. Du musst ein bisschen mitdenken. Ich weiß nicht, ob es so gut ist zum Let's Playen, weil ich ja eigentlich selber immer kommentieren will. Ich will aber auch der Story folgen. Ich möchte da drin sein. Spaß macht's trotzdem, aber für heute, glaube ich, reicht's mal. Da haben wir wieder ein Kapitel abgeschlossen, haben einen Ortswechsel vollzogen, sind in der Antarktis. Und dann würde ich die Folge heute mal beenden. Ich bin gespannt, wie es weitergeht. Man müsste es auch einfach mehr am Stück spielen. Ich weiß, da bin ich ganz furchtbar nachlässig. Aber ja, da hoffe ich, ihr verzeiht mir. Wenn es euch Spaß gemacht hat, einfach nächstes Mal wieder einschalten. Bis dort noch, schaffen wir bis Levels. Macht's gut und kommen in den Träumen mit Sau.